Hello, I'm Sophia Parola with the Garden State Film Festival, and here with me is filmmaker Pablo Velez. He has made the short film Adjustment of Status. Pablo, how you doing today?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited to talk to you about this short film. It's a beautiful film, wonderful story. Before we get into it, I'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Adjustment of Status.
Sure. My name is Pablo Velez. My day job, I'm an immigration attorney in New York City. I've been practicing for a little bit over a decade, and my partner and I represent individuals, companies, and investors that are looking to come into the States. Filmmaking has always been a passion for me. So this is the first project that kind of merged sort of both of my worlds. And then I created Adjustment of Status, and it's actually based on a 2017 interview that I took a few clients on.
Wow, I love hearing about the background of filmmakers because not only is it amazing that they do something like completely different in their day job and still manage to make these films, but it has to do with the story that you've written. And that was gonna be my first question. What was the inspiration? So tell me about writing this based off of an interview that you had.
Sure. So it was actually not too complicated to get the dialogue on the page and sort of the action, because when I go to these adjustment interviews, I actually take a transcript of everything that's said in the event that at the end of the interview, I actually have to interject or make objections or anything like that. I just thought that this particular officer asked some really off the wall questions. So as I went back to my office, I just transcribed everything that I had on my notepad into cell text and played with it until I could turn it into a short film.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So once you played with that and you made this into the short film, what was that process of being like, all right, this story, we're going to make it into a film, getting your crew together? Tell me about that filming process.
Yeah. It went through several rewrites because originally I had just put it down literally how I heard it, and then I added some dramatic effect to it and things that didn't happen in real life, but just to get the story moving. And then I had a crew that actually they're based in Nashville, Tennessee. So it's a friend of mine who was in New York who resettled out there, and he was really interested in the story, and he has some folks that work with him. So as soon as we got the script to where it is, as you currently see it, they flew out to New York City for a couple of days, and we shot it all within 2 days.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, I mean, I noticed that a lot of the film, besides, without giving anything away, besides a few scenes, are all shot in one location. Was this because it was during the pandemic, or you really didn't find a need to shoot in other locations because most of the story were in that office?
Right. So most of the stories in the office. So we wanted to create or sort of recreate the amount of tension and claustrophobia that somebody feels when they're going through that process, because there is a lot of drama just based in that little space. And the stakes are really high because basically, if someone's found to have committed fraud or something like that, then they're removed from the country as a whole. So there's a lot riding on the line. And we thought that we can just really get a good performance out of the actors and make the folks kind of feel that whole situation.
Right, and you really did. I mean, I think that you didn't even notice it was in one location because of how the story just flowed. It was you're very invested from the start in the story itself and the characters, and part of that is because of the wonderful performance of the actors. So where did you find this cast?
So that would be a tribute to my great casting director, Dave Bob, who I actually met by happenstance. And he took a look at the script. He really liked it. He's a professional actor himself. So he's been on several HBO shows like Succession, and he has some stuff coming out on Netflix. But he has a lot of folks in his network. And as soon as he took a look at the script, he just sent me a lot of headshots and a lot of reels, and we just kind of put it together from there.
Oh my gosh, amazing. Very successful casting director. And what was the post-production like the editing process? I'm sure there wasn't a lot of edits because we were only in one location and the story was all there on the page. So how long did that process take?
It actually took a while because of the pandemic. We shot this film the summer of 2019. So it was just a matter of kind of sitting down and finding the most dramatic moments and the moments that made the most sense for the story to flow the way that it does. However, we did have to reshoot a few inserts just for effect and to keep the look consistent and everything like that. So we wanted to make sure to be careful when shooting all those images and like cutting them in. So that was a little bit of a challenge because we couldn't get back together with the pandemic. So we ended up doing some of those inserts from Nashville and just kind of coloring it and, making it all blend. I think it's seamless, but, you can tell me better.
Wow. I mean, that's part of the reason I loved about it without giving anything away. But I think if I'm thinking about like some of the flashbacks or some of the stuff that were inserted, the look of it matched what it was supposed to be. It just seemed like you did it on purpose, but I didn't know that that was what happened. So that's
Mhm.
really interesting to hear. Wow. So you successfully made this short film. It's a wonderful story. You're obviously accepted into the Garden State Film Festival. How does it feel to be here now after writing this in, you said 2017? Um, like this happened in 2017. Yeah, how do you feel right now being accepted into the Garden State Film Festival?
Yeah, no, it's an excellent feeling. It's a real honor to actually see something that I put together, and this is actually my first film that I actually put out. So, I mean, all the more so. So, I was really excited to be included in the festival. I'm really looking forward to, being able to sit there live with the audience and kind of gauge people's reactions that way. It's really exciting to be out of the pandemic as well. So,
Mhm.
all these good things.
Absolutely. I commend you. I can't believe this is your first film. Looking back, I mean, what are you most proud of, and what did you learn most? Especially this is your first film, and it just looks so beautiful and seamless. So, is there anything that you could take away from this experience that you might put on your next film, or someone else out there who wants to do what you do can learn from your experience?
Oh, thank you very much. It's really about persistence. I think that was the biggest thing is just learning how to persevere through all the challenges and just being very patient with myself, with the cast and crew, with the process. In my line of work, things tend to move a lot faster. The filmmaking process is very collaborative, but at the same time, it's very slow in comparison to law because a lot of decisions have to be made, and then a lot of, I guess, options have to be weighed out, and then a lot of people have to be conferred with. So that's kind of the interesting thing. But the reason why I feel that it came out so beautifully and all those different things are absolutely nothing to do with me. It's all the crew and their ability to, work behind the camera, especially in post. I mean, they're really just like magicians at what they do. I was able to just, be a witness to the story. So I was able to transcribe it, and I had enough fun sort of rewriting it because I enjoy rewriting more than I do writing, strangely enough. So, everyone just working collaboratively, it was just really fun.
Wow, amazing, and so humble. I think that you owe a lot of credit to yourself. I mean, you are the reason that this story was written, that it's at the festival, and thank you for getting that actors and the crew together. It really is a wonderful collaboration. It's a wonderful film. My last question to wrap up this interview is how you heard about the Garden State Film Festival, and what does it feel to have audiences at the Garden State Film Festival see Adjustment of Status?
Sure. So I actually, before the pandemic, and I'm just not very active. I'm a member of the Friars Club, and John Hedlund, who's a filmmaker based in New Jersey, he actually mentioned the festival. And before I even got into actually making film, I saw a couple of his shorts, and he had mentioned it. So I just stuck out in my mind, and I said, "Oh, I absolutely have to do this." So
Oh my gosh, I know John. It's like he's at the festival a lot, and he's a wonderful filmmaker himself. So I love the connections that Garden State Film Festival makes and that people suggest it. I mean, the community at the Garden State Film Festival is unlike any other. And I'm so happy that John told you to submit and that you got accepted. Pablo, congratulations. It really is a wonderful film, and you should be very proud of yourself.
thank you so much, and thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you. Let me tell everyone before we cut out how they can watch Adjustment of Status. It will be playing at the festival virtually and also at Asbury Lanes Saturday, March 26th in the film block 2:30 to 4:30 p.m. So, Pablo, it sounds like you're going to be at the screening and you can be with the audience watching this for the first time.
That is the plan. I definitely want to, be a part of that and soak it in. It won't be the first time, but it's definitely
Right, for the audience's first
that's proud
time.
of.
You're right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Congratulations again. And I look forward to seeing you around the festival.
Thank you very much.